Welcome to HostRight. My name is Zach and I'm here with my business partner and partner, Eve. And on this podcast, what we're doing is we're sharing everything that we know about how to run a successful Airbnb company, but also sharing all the knowledge that we're learning running a business and being an entrepreneur. So yeah, stay tuned. Episodes every week and let's get into it.
2024.
Welcome to 2024. It's crazy.
It's on.
Yeah. Do you know, I had this weird thing this morning. It's literally 4 years since COVID, which is mad in a month, or a couple of months, which is mad. So yeah, looking forward to it. 2024 is going to be a big year.
Big goals.
Yeah, we've been super busy with some stuff recently, haven't we? We didn't have much of a break over Christmas. Do you want to update everyone on what's been going on?
Yeah, it's been busy. I think we had like Christmas Day, which was nice,
and Boxing Day. Yeah,
and Boxing Day. We were just sort of covering a few guest comms whilst the team were having their sort of time off.
Yeah, well-deserved break, yeah.
Yeah. What's been happening? Well, I guess what we're talking about today is building sort of our foundations for the year. So what are we doing in our business to get ready to keep scaling this year? This is sort of, the quiet period. What we've learned in business is to really treat it as like having seasons, right? So we're in kind of the quiet season.
Good old January.
Yeah, I love January.
Yeah.
I'm sure our clients love it even more.
Yeah, no one loves January in service accommodation.
No, but yeah, so I think we're just busy with that, aren't we? Kind of getting the foundations laid so that when it is busy season, which will come around fast, we're ready to go. So lots of hiring, lots of interviewing.
Yeah.
It's exciting.
Yeah, it's a time of reflection right now. Same with Christmas, is just trying to reflect on what we learned and all the things that not went wrong, but just could be better. So
always getting better.
Yeah. So right now we're on a massive like expansion kind of mindset and just building down the layers of success really. So, we're always being the type of people that want to make sure everything's done to the best of its ability and not rush and always be investing back in. So yeah, we got 3 or 4 jobs. You're the hiring.
Actually, technically 6, but some of them are kind of quite small. So.
No, so
ads. Yeah.
Oh yeah. We've got 6 ads. Yeah, and then how many are we expecting to hire?
6.
Yeah.
Yeah. But some of those are kind of smaller local jobs that would be kind of more freelance based.
Yeah.
But really like 4.
Yeah. I get what you mean. Yes, it's like people that are going to be working fixed hours and other people. Yeah. So cool. So you love hiring.
Guys, having a team.
I love hiring as well, but like it's
having a team is like the most rewarding thing. Like growing up, I wanted to be a teacher. Shout out to my little sister because she used to put up with me being so like bossy when we were younger.
What about shout out to me?
On our weekends as kids, I would create workbooks and create school exams, make her take the register and do the different. This is like confession time now. Make her answer the register and all the different voices of all the different kids in the class, like make-believe classroom. And then she'd have to sit and do all the work.
Sounds like my type of hell for her to grow up.
Oh God, it was not nice. But she, she always gives me credit for her intelligence. So, I don't know. But yeah, I always wanted to be a teacher.
Shout out to your sister as well, because she's queen finance and is an expert on the
Thanks to those early training days.
Yeah, exactly.
Like I've always wanted to like teach and train, and I think there's nothing more rewarding than having a team. Like one of our team members let us know over the break that she's buying a house.
Yeah, it's awesome.
She's going to renovate it. She's going to have a business from it as well, like her family. So that's just like everything, and seeing people kind of be able to progress with you and give them opportunity for growth. Yeah, it's really cool.
Yeah. So what's 2024 looking like? Why are we looking to hire these type of people? What jobs are they? What gaps are they filling? Like, what talk us through that process.
So, like we said, it's building the foundations. So we're hiring to fill all the gaps that we currently have, so that then when it gets busy, when we're taking on more units, it's good to go. We've got a really solid foundation. I think that's one of the biggest learning curves growing any business, right? Is you can't wait for all your ducks to be in a row to get going, but when you are going, you do need to stop and reflect and review and see what the gaps are. Things that worked 6 months ago don't work now. So yeah, that's the kind of like the reason behind what we're doing at the moment. But all right, let's go for it. So we're expanding the guest comms sort of admin team. So that's another person full time that's kind of doing all of the day to day.
First proper day today?
Yeah, she's awesome.
Yeah.
She was happy. So yeah, that's like literally just doing all the day to day stuff, like guests and property, like coordinating with the cleaners, all that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Then we've got a property manager. Now that's like I would say our biggest gap, and if I was going to talk about our biggest weakness right now, it would be that. So it's been handled, but like we want to really level that up.
Yeah, it's leveling it up to another level. Like it's just making it the best it could be. So just apps. It's just like a 5-star service
for sure.
Everything is running in motion. So again, just reinvesting before anything breaks.
Yeah,
to make sure nothing
like,
breaks.
When we look at the rest of the departments that we have, like they're on a level up from that. Like it's functioning, but we want everything to be awesome. So bringing someone into that role is just leveling it up and expanding what we do in terms of managing the properties, and especially like we're going to have more kind of reporting as well, going to our clients around their property every month. So that'd be really cool. So that's the next one, and then after that we are bringing on another bookkeeper. That's a lot of work in what we do, so expanding that. Again, it's just about capacity, really. And then an executive assistant, and that role is, I'm so excited about that. Like, really qualified, proper executive assistant that's going to really be helping with admin. So that, I mean, again, another kind of business lesson, which I'll let you kind of explain about, where you're spending your time, right? On what percentages you're doing in each of those, and bringing this person on is going to up my kind of ratio in terms of what I'm spending on the business, right? Do you want to kind of like explain what I mean by that?
It's just about leveling up productivity. So getting people that help you in your weaknesses. So organizing our day, allowing us to have more structure to focus on helping the team improve the systems, looking at more marketing strategies, growing personal brand, just basically things that are going to make your business grow and be better. And that executive assistant is, basically comes like
supporting you, basically.
Yeah, it's like a gatekeeper of like making sure that you have, because you only have so much brain power in one day. If you're doing everything, doing all the little tasks, all these little admin stuff, I bet you everyone listening to this at their work or at their business, if they have they have days where they're like, holy crap, like 5 hours is gone and all they've done is
what
this.
Have I even done?
Yeah, what have I even done? And it's just removing that, so that brain is always focusing on high value stuff. So yeah, super, super excited for both of us to have that, specifically Eve as well, because that's going to be
I'm doing a lot of the busy,
the operations side of it. Yeah, so I'm looking forward to it.
I think it's so easy, isn't it? Like another really big lesson, early days growing a business is it's so easy to build yourself into a business to the point where you're running it, but you're not working on it. And that's kind of what you're saying, isn't it? So it's getting it to a point where you're working on it and improving it, not just stagnant because you're stressed trying to keep on top of everything every day. Yeah,
do you know what's crazy about hiring stuff? Like that role specifically, we had 1,000 plus like applicants. So sifting through that, is a job and a half. And what did you get it down to? Like we were like 3 stages.
I got down to 30.
30, yeah.
And then there's like a first stage kind of doing a bit more testing.
And then like down to 10.
Yeah, then we had like, I invited 12 people to first stage interviews, and then only like 6 people got on. Or some people were late. So that was a fail.
Yeah, we were savage. It was 3 minutes. If they were 3 minutes late, especially if they're going to be an executive assistant, or even any role really, if you're late to an interview, it's just gone. Like that, your first sign is just,
and then we had second interviews, which were a bit more in depth. But yeah, that was crazy. I think I posted on my stories over Christmas, like just a picture of on the hiring website. It was like the rejected pile. Basically, it said 600 rejected, and I just posted that, and everyone was replying like, "Oh my god, what is this?" Just literally,
I know.
You've got to do it to find the gems.
I know, and I find it. I find it interesting when I'm doing interviews, because it's crazy because I'll never do an interview again. That's kind of like the idea. It's just like
I think that I'm like, wow, I'd never be on that.
But I remember doing an interview, and it's terrifying sometimes. You know, you can see the people who have done a few interviews, and you can see the people who are super nervous, and it's.
I like it when people are a bit nervous.
Yeah,
because they want it more, right? If they're blasé, it's good if they're not nervous; they can control their nerves. But I want to see that they care about what they're applying for.
Too many people make it, in my opinion, when people interview, they make it so robotic and ask the same questions. But what we learned, really important, because, you know, we learned to know who the hell you want to hire. So rather than just doing interviews and going, oh, that person's good, or that person's not great, or yeah, they're cool, they're quite nice to us. It's like, just like dating someone, or, you know
what you
a
want.
friend, you know who you want to be around. And, you know, when you're hiring someone in your company, you need to know exactly the type of person that you want, because everyone is different. Every company is different. And I think for us, we're wanting like, you know, like-minded people, can get like along with us, you know, super nice, and want to kind of
excited by
a small business,
by the whole thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and I think we're lucky that we can reflect on our own experience.
Yeah, in
a quite similar situation. Which before we did this, you know, we want our team to feel the way we did in that business, which I just loved it. You know, it was everything. So shout out to the old boss.
Yeah, what's the number one thing to sorry, I'll rephrase that. What is the biggest red flag when looking for staff or team?
It's a good one.
Whatever you call them.
Yeah. I can think of more than one, but I think a really important one, and we've talked about this before, is you're going to ask them about their previous role. If they get on and basically talk absolute rubbish about their last job, and, you know, they're kind of disrespectful about it, you know, manager was horrible, people were difficult, I didn't like the way they did things, that's kind of that energy, even if that's how you feel, it's fine. Like, people have those bad experiences. They were bad managers, like, no matter how kind of real that is, we're meeting you for the first time on that interview, so we're not going to know if that experience is true or not, or if you're just a really difficult, angry person, and it just gives off the vibe that they're not going to respect
bad
you,
energy.
Right?
You don't want that. You don't want bad energy, and even if they were treated badly, there is, and I bet you some of them are, but there's ways in which you come about it, and you
tell us later if it is genuine. Once we know you, don't tell us on your first
interview.
Look,
I enjoyed the company. I had a few experiences that made me want to leave. I don't want to talk badly about the company, but mentioning saying, when people say it like that, they're being a bit genuine, and then they can explain the situation. That's fine. But if someone just says, "Oh, the manager was terrible," or "I didn't like this person, so then I left," you're like, okay, well, you have a problem with getting along with people, doing the job. So that's the so true.
Can you think of like the worst interview you've had in terms of?
Well, it wasn't
answers?
It was my So another job I had. So not here. I was interviewing someone for I think it was a sales role, or even a store, when I was a store manager, something like that. And the person basically said to me, "Well, my mum said I'm very bad at time management, so she told me to apply for this job, so I applied." And I went, "Oh, right, okay." And then so what kind of
yourself there.
What kind of job do you want to do? Anything that pays me money. Okay, yeah, nice. It's fair to say that interview lasts like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're gonna get some stinkers, but then you get some people that are just like interviewing you.
You've got to go through them to find the good ones.
Yeah, 1,000 applicants, and then you get it later.
So that's kind of where we're at, isn't it? Like, and I think any newer business, it is one of the hardest things of building a team. So I think as a new business, you do feel like
you wear the pants.
Yeah, and like you're the one that's done it all. So for some people, I don't find it too difficult because I know our goals and I know how necessary it is. And it's unrealistic to do everything myself. But a lot of people in a new business, they struggle to let go of stuff. And there's certain things I would definitely struggle to let go of. So a big thing in terms of if you are scaling, what we're learning as we scale is what that looks like, what that team, what that foundation support system looks like at different points. It's going to look different. As long as it's good enough for where you are at that moment, and what you're headed towards in the near future, brilliant. But you're not going to know I don't know what it's going to look like when we've got double, triple, quadruple the amount of properties, right? So I think it's just about like almost like relaxing into that progress and enjoying it.
In the same breath, it's like planning ahead as well. So knowing like
what's our goals, what do we need,
what the goal and what the structure is going to be. So you're hiring this person now, but you want to make sure that person has a place in a year or two, you know.
Yeah,
because that's important. You don't want to just hire someone because, it's summer, I need 2 more people because it's busy.
Unless it's like temporary.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden, okay, now they're gone. But you shouldn't need temporary,
no.
You shouldn't need temporary, their core members, yes, maintenance and maybe cleaners or,
but in all honesty, our team in the quiet months are doing so much valuable work. The guest comms are a bit quieter. Not loads quieter because we're still getting
it's quite
bookings.
Busy, especially over
still
December.
Busy, yeah. But they're just doing loads of other awesome work to get us really leveled up for when it is busy, so that it's not a problem when it's busy.
Exactly. So when it's quiet, you're actually making them do a lot of tasks and get a hold of the admin stuff.
Yeah.
That this is the time to fix the problems or fix the things that you didn't have time to in summer and run with it, compared to in summer where it's just
go,
as our mentor says, go, and then in winter you're kind of hibernating and looking at where we can prepare and put things in place. I feel like you're taking
a breath a little bit, right?
Yeah.
But we are still growing and onboarding, so it's never just quiet because there's always more units. So
I mean, this is where we started our business last year. This is where it started to really grow. But everyone's shut down during Christmas. None of our clients, no one's going to be available. So,
which I struggle with.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm like, just let me do stuff again.
Yes. What's the lessons over Christmas? Our lessons over this Christmas was, we were prepared for it, but we had some situations where, not situations, just when everything shuts down, it's super hard.
Kind of forget how shut down.
Yeah, you need fail safes, and luckily we had a lot of fail safes. So, for example, because cleaners are taking time off, they have limited, staff there. It's having team in place. So if this fails, that this one can do it, and being really strict and planning weeks in advance, especially core events.
Yeah.
So again, we got the rugby coming on in Feb 3rd. We've already prepped our cleaning team that.
Even down to the road closures and where they can go, so where at what point they can go to different properties.
So it's been really advanced.
It's planning for the things that it's almost like planning for the unknown. You can plan for what you know is going to happen, but also having the contingencies over those kind of strange periods, right?
Yeah, one of our keys broke into our lockup on New Year's Eve or New Year's Day or
over the holiday.
Where we had 15 or 16 or 17 turnovers, and luckily we had a key that we could get there and enable the gate to open. Whereas if that couldn't get opened because the storage unit wasn't there, we would be absolutely in a right pickle because we couldn't get a locksmith because it's not unlocked. We'd have had to cancel all these bookings. It would have been a nightmare. Or Eve would have had to go up to Dunham and buy about £500 worth of bedding and wiped them clean of all their white bedding.
Yeah, I've done that a few times.
We have done that before,
in the past.
Yeah, sadly.
That is definitely a big one, isn't it? When you've got those kind of events and things and different holidays, plan for it for sure, and have contingencies. I think we also learnt, this is a nice one, how much the team kind of love their jobs a little bit, because they were logging in over the holidays. We were like, guys, it's fine. We've got it. We will do it over these few days. You guys have a break. They didn't want one. They were loving it. They were like, no, just log in, check how it's all going. And that to me is gold dust when you find team members that are that passionate. Yeah.
Yeah. Christmas, Boxing Day, New Year's, they all work. Not all of them, sorry. Some of them wanted to work.
The core team, the guest comms team is really relevant.
Yeah, and we gave them a bit of extra money as well because they're working on a holiday.
Yeah, legends.
It's only fair. So do you want to work? We didn't make it. We just said, if you don't want to work, it's fine. But if you want to work, we'll pay extra amount of money. And they said, yeah. And then, happy days. They were. And that's awesome. The great thing about having a business is that, you can have the time off, but you're paying your team more money and they want the money. They're not forced to do it. Yeah. They want it. And it's It's great.
And that's such an important
They're saving
point.
for a house, or they just bought a house.
They want to hustle.
They want to hustle, yeah.
And it's such an important point that, again, going back to like thinking about those foundations in the early days of a business, it's building a team that are that strong around you, because if you're building a team but you still have to do everything and you still can't switch off and you still can't just have a few hours to focus on marketing or whatever it is, sales, because you're worrying, you've not built the right team. So build the foundations is what we're learning as we go along, right? Just keep building the foundation so that you're not your supporter, but your business is supported to the point where you trust them to do it even more than you trust yourself.
I'm going to make it a basketball analogy, and most people won't get it if they're from the UK. So I'll try to make it a football analogy after. But everyone knows LeBron James. So when he was in Cleveland, he had an absolute bunch of scrubs. They were not good. And he was the best player in the world, and he couldn't win. So even if you're the best player, the best owner, if you don't have the team around you, you will not be as successful as you could be, and you'll have to work. So, you have to build that
don't make a football analogy. That one was fine.
Yeah, no, I don't want to make a football analogy. I don't even know how I'd make a football analogy. I'm so bad.
Yeah, you don't.
Ronaldo can't beat.
Oh, stop.
11 players. Christian, is it Ronaldo or Ronaldo?
I don't know. Let's not get into it.
Yeah.
But anyway, I totally agree. It's like, it's not down to us. Our job is just to build the right team and support them so they can do the best job, right? Anyway, growing an Airbnb business in 2024. Let's talk about the market. Let's talk about what it is going to take for anyone listening that wants to grow an Airbnb business this year.
There's no one magic pill to it. It depends on what people are doing. I think 2024 is an interesting year. I think there's a lot of changes going to happen, but 2023 was actually really, really, really hard. It was like, even in December that just went, it was very quiet across the country.
It's kind of a good time to start them, right? It's like, okay.
It is, but then obviously if you're doing rent to rent, the rent's super high. That's a bit rough. But it's always a good time. When, just like anything in the stock, when people are worried or stressing out with new compliance, it's all good. But business in 2024, I think the one thing I would say to someone that's trying to start is, a lot of them going to sources and relying on that because it's the easy option. But, a lot of people don't have a lot of money. I know when we started, we could have afforded a 3,000, but we were just like, we didn't want to.
Was it an ego thing? We were like,
it was an ego thing. Yeah, 100%. Oh yeah, 1,000%. Oh yeah, 100%. It was an ego thing. There's no way I was going to pay.
Zach's a sales guy, so there was no way he was paying someone else to make a sale.
I was not going to make. Yeah, there's no chance.
Maybe I would have if I was on my own.
No, I don't reckon you would have.
Oh, okay.
No, you would have just failed and done. There's no way. And by the way, we're not saying it's not a thing if you pay a sourcer, because everyone's different. Like,
it's possible.
Yeah, people don't have time, or people don't want to go and do it. But yeah, what I would say is try to do it yourself. There's ways. Go through your Open Rank, go through Rightmove. This is my personal opinion. If you were trying to start out and you don't have that much sales experience, trying to call agents, you're going to get so many no's and no's and no's. It's going to really deflate you.
Yeah.
I would recommend going and actually viewing the property and then pitching the actual, have a conversation, build a relationship, then start to say stuff like, so I'm not going to be living in the property. I'm actually going to be doing, company lets, et cetera, et cetera. I'm not going to go into the pitch. You can go on Google, YouTube, and look at it. And then once you get your first couple, you'll be fine. You'll fly. If you just keep with the momentum. Momentum's everything.
So where do you think the market is for that stuff?
I think it's good
at the moment.
Well, there's so many rentals. Everyone pauses in December, and in January it flies. So there's so many opportunities that can come up.
I also think this year we're going to see the mortgage rates maybe go down a little bit more. I think
later, towards the end of the year. I don't think the mortgage rates will change that much. I think the house prices are continuing to drop. I mean, we've just kinda, not really, bought a house. It's
on the way.
Yeah, it's on the way. I'm not jinxing it. So, we've had the property, it's 30, 40 grand under the asking price. It's crazy. So with that, rents could be changing. I think that there's definitely a place for service accommodation.
A lot of people that maybe, again, feel like they need to sell or don't want to sell.
What we've got to remember is last year, and even 2022, was rough on the economy. Like,
but we
was
still grew.
Struggling. And we grew. We took on more properties. But as service accommodation, it slowed down. So, the two wars, so obviously Ukraine and Russia, and then, Israel and all the Hamas stuff, that does impact what happens here. So, especially inflation, these things really, took the money out of people's pockets. So now that we're trying to stabilize, inflation's, reducing, this is meaning that more people have more money to spend again. We're not there yet, but obviously that's going to help service accommodation, because obviously the more money in people's pockets, the more holidays they do. And, because the inflation's a little bit higher still and flying costs more money, people are going to look to more staycations like COVID.
Yeah. In summer.
So yeah, I'm excited by 2024 for us. I mean, what we've seen with like the rugby coming in February. So last year when we had about 4 units. We weren't getting booked until the last couple of weeks for our rugby. Yeah. But now we're getting very busy. We've had 4 bookings over £1,000 for a 3-bedroom, and then 3 bookings already for £800 to £900. So last year we didn't have that. This year it's flying and the money's there. So I'm pretty excited.
I also think that whatever the situation is always, as long as you're helping people and offering a solution, then it's okay.
Yeah.
So, last year the mortgage rates were really high, but that meant
good for a business,
we could help people, right? But there's always a different scenario and a different angle. So whatever the kind of situation is, it's like when people say there's never really like a right time to buy a house. You just got to buy it, right?
Yeah.
Like you could wait 10 years for the market to be right. Like it never is. So it's just about doing it and angling things as a solution to what's going on at the moment. And that is changing. So it's just about keeping on top of it.
Because people forget that the interest rates have gone up for the last year. So people are at fixed interest rates. So people that fixed like 5 years ago or 3 years ago, they're at 2 or 3%.
Yeah.
They're going to come in at 5 or 6%. So people are still having issues with their mortgages. So it's now 2024, mortgage is still a problem. So if you're going to a landlord, especially if you're going to be management, you have a solution where you can make more money. But even if you're doing rent to rent, you got to think, if you can take them away from an agent, they're saving at least 7 to 10% plus all the maintenance. So you can compound that over 5 years. That could be like 15, 20 grand that you're saving them. So their solution is always money and then peace of mind. So have that in your back pocket. You're not there to get a sale. You're there to solve a problem for them, which then makes you business.
Yeah, for sure.
Another thing in 2024 I think is going to be massive is kind of the change in what guest expectations are. I think
interesting.
The way service accommodations adapting to is a lot more of a personalized and unique stay for guests. So I think as we keep growing, and maybe it's not 2024 as such, but we're going to have to find unique ways to really stand out. So there's the technology, ease of access, the digital guidebook. I feel like guests now, honestly, want everything to be handled on a silver plate. They don't have to think about it. They want to go to a guidebook and go,
super easy.
I go here. This is exactly the directions. I click this button. Okay, lock, bang, in. You tell me exactly how I use the heater, exactly how I use the TV, exactly how I use every single appliance in that apartment. And if you don't have one of them, they're annoyed and they expect you to know it.
Yeah, it's quite a high level, and it's like you're saying about technology. It's interesting, like with how that evolves and how like AI is evolving and the influence that will have from a guest perspective, but also like running a business. I mean, that's true in any industry, isn't it? Like it's changing the way people run businesses.
Yeah, I think
got to keep on top of that.
It's trying not to be too reliant on it as well, because I think a lot of people are so reliant on ChatGPT. That
it has its place, doesn't it? But it can't replace people and the human touch of that, like you were saying, like that kind of personality and it being quite custom, like a robot. Basically, it's never gonna replace that until it's better than us.
But I think if you're not using AI in 2024, you're falling behind, and you're falling way behind than other people. There's so many little tools out there that are going to help you grow. So you can get that.
I mean, Zach's like upset every day. Like if I see a notification on my phone saying Zach sent you a reel or something, I'm like, it's going to be AI.
Yeah.
And then he's just always sending me these reels of like all these different websites and just, like discovering stuff, which is cool because like you said, you got to stay on top of it. So
I've had an app that literally allows me to cut like video content by cutting the words. So I can,
that's a cool one.
I can remove like, how are you? And it will just go from whatever I said before and then skip it to the next part. And
with the video,
it's basically video editing. I was just like, this is amazing. It cost me $20 a month. It's like happy days. It saves me tens of hours and thousands of dollars. Fantastic. And that's the kind of thing that you can implement into your business. So you don't have to like find it. We've got 6 key softwares, organizations. One big one is like guest flow, massive for
Amazing.
us. It's going to make our life, it's going to allow us to manage multiple properties with less guest people, which is fantastic.
Yeah, stay tuned about guest flow, guys. Like we can talk about that more in a few months from now.
Well, we're going to bring on the founder, the director of guest flow, but also someone that's running multiple units, like 300 plus. Also our mentor. So that's a really good interview it's scheduled in. So can't wait for that.
Yeah, we'll be able to talk more about guest flow because for anyone that's running units,
we'll get him to explain it even
more.
Well,
we will all be able to talk about it because if you're running like multiple units and stuff, it's like a game changer for efficiency and saving time. Like we are obsessed. Yeah,
we've been trying from the early days, so it's been really good. But yeah, that's kind of my take. What's your kind of view of going into 2024? Is there anything else that comes to your mind, or is there things that you think are important to not be missing out at this time of the year?
I think this time of the year, don't be missing out on the kind of opportunities. I think a lot of people think that just because it's January, like, it all goes quiet, which is true in some ways, but it doesn't mean other things have to slow down. So like keep your momentum going just because it's January. I know it can be hard for some people, but I think take the opportunities that come in those quieter times, especially if you already have a business, like we were saying, and organising it and stuff like that. But I think I just think with this industry, like any industry that's in its sort of kind of growth phase where it's like growing in popularity, growing in awareness about what it is, more and more people getting into it. With this industry is still very much in that phase, right? So you've got to keep up. When it's going in that direction, things are changing. People are trying to, out-compete other people, and there's space for everyone to win. But, if you want to be successful, you've got to kind of keep up with what everyone else is doing to be good.
There's always someone trying to work harder than you.
Yeah.
You got to remember that. I think this time is, if you haven't done it already, I'm not big on not 2023. I'm not big on.
I'm not big on 2023.
I'm not big on.
Just a casual, really important year of our life.
Screw 2023. Yeah.
Whatever.
Just start a business. Put an application to buy a house. Yeah.
No biggies.
Yeah. No. You said no what?
No biggie.
I thought you said no babies. I was like,
and no babies.
Yeah. Well, there is one. There's technically
there's two.
Two. Sorry. Yeah. Technically two in our life. Not.
Yeah.
Don't get excited, guys. There's
two nieces, not.
Yeah, two nieces, which kind of like our baby in a way. So I think the most important thing is to really plan out what you're going to do. So plan out where you want to be, what your strengths are, what your weaknesses are, alongside what is 2024 going to look like. So what is the success in that, and
how do you get there,
and how you're going to get there, rather than I'm going to read 10 pages, or I'm going to go to the gym, or all these things that like you're going to fail some of them on some weeks or some months. Like you're not going to read 10 pages a day. Most people, I'm talking about 95% of the people, because the 5% out there, they will. So you need to have tangible things that really get you excited and get them written down. Because for me, I had I didn't know this. This is was crazy about it. In 2021, I made a vision board. It was like I think a car, a business, travel, all these kind of things in there. And I checked it at the end of 2022, and I had everything but one. And then come 4 months into 2023, I had everything, and I did not know. I was like, holy crap, this is the last. I was like, this is the last thing on my vision board. And I was like, I didn't even know it. So I was like, I'm pulling the trigger on it, because then, I now need to get another one. But
that was his car, guys.
Yeah.
I had to cancel the car on my vision board.
Yeah.
Because they're all getting stolen, so I couldn't get one.
Yeah.
Yeah. The insurance was the same as another.
What was
car.
it, like £8,000 for insurance?
It was like $700 a month.
Yeah. It was even more than that.
Yeah.
I think it was actually 7,000.
So that was off my vision board. But anyway, yeah, whatever. I'm over it. Don't talk about it too much. I get sad.
I just realised that 700 would be 7,000.
Yeah.
Great maths, Zach. Stick to service accommodation. Don't do anything mathematics.
Well, you do the numbers. But,
Sure.
You like numbers.
Systems do that for me though.
Yeah.
I overlook it.
No in your head maths.
Yeah, no, I'm not good at head math. Oh my god.
But yeah, I think like you're saying, it's like having goals that are measurable is super important, and not having. It's like what you're saying with like the reading and stuff like that. It's very much like a micro goal, and it's something that will get you towards a slightly bigger goal. So have those like tangible bigger goals for the year, and you can break those down. Have the smaller things like, right, how are we getting there in the first quarter, second quarter, especially with the business, breaking down those kind of sections and kind of goalposts. And yeah, like if you don't read 10 pages a day one time, or even more than that, like you haven't failed because of that. And I think that's like such a big mindset shift in terms of getting consistent. If you set yourself a crazy goal, like, back in the day, for me, it's all about food. I was a bit obsessive with how I ate, not in a healthy way. And I'm sure I'll talk about it more one day, that whole journey that I went on. But the biggest thing I learned out of that was having an all or nothing mindset is literally just setting yourselves up for failure. Like if you say, I have to, I'm never eating chocolate again. The first time you do that, you failed in your mind. And you're then just like falling off a cliff. So
it's also not healthy.
It's not nice. And I definitely don't follow that anymore.
Yeah.
So it's like, don't set yourself up to fail. Set up in a way where like, if you don't do something once, like it really doesn't matter. Like just carry on again the next day.
Yeah. And if it really does bother you, like let's say you don't read that 10 pages, read 20 the next day, if you feel like that you need to do that and that's important to you.
But not with food and stuff, guys. I'm very passionate about that.
Yeah, no, not with food.
Not to miss a dinner because you ate some chocolate.
God, no. Yeah, no. That's not healthy. We're in the fitness space as well. There's no chance.
Talk about that stuff for a long time. But yeah.
There could be a whole podcast on body, health and wealth. I mean, I think that's another thing.
Oh my God, yeah, for sure.
I think it's actually, it randomly just wasn't supposed to be a topic of conversation is, I think the number one thing we've learned over the last year is your health is your wealth. And I think if you are, I'm not speaking for you don't have to do this. I think everyone should take care of their body and everyone should have some sort of fitness that they like within what they want to do, because the healthier you are and the more dedicated you are to being fit and healthy, the more dedicated you're going to be to anything out there.
And that's like healthy, like physically and mentally.
It helps you mentally.
And those two things go together, right? Like you can't really have one. In my opinion, I don't think I can have one without the other.
Yeah. And so this year is all about that. I mean, I got surgery in a month, which is kind of sidetrack what I'm wanting to do.
Having an operation a week before we move house.
Yeah. Good times. Can't wait.
Wish me luck.
Plus I got all these other things. It's just everything piles up. So we got a refurb that we're going to be organising. I'm going to have surgery. I've got, some things I need to sort out from, past of, basically just
that makes it sound so dramatic.
Yeah, it's nothing. It's just basically like visas and stuff like that. Yeah, because I'm a foreigner from the land down under. Crazy. But right now it's like focus on the fitness side to make sure that I'm at the healthiest position. So when I have that surgery and I'm obviously deflated, that I'm being able to get back into it because
ready to run some marathons.
Yeah, ready to run. Yeah.
I think that is on topic, isn't it? Because we're talking about laying foundations, and like if you're not feeling good, you're not bringing your best. And I think I talked about that in our last one. We talked about what our lessons were of last year. I said like about putting yourself first, and I'm sure we'll get into it in other podcasts, but it's been a long old journey.
I want to bring someone on that can speak like highly about it, like a well-known fitness trainer or something like that can talk through like
that'd be cool.
Yeah, that could talk through that because we know so many of them, that some of the best in the world, so that'd be exciting. The last thing on the health side of it is listen to Stephen Bartlett, so the Diary of the CEO, podcast creator and book. So listen to his, I think it's called the Diary of the CEO.
Yeah, his new book.
Yeah, the Diary of the CEO. So one thing he talks about is like the 4 pillars, and one of them is yourself. I think it's like your foundation, I think he calls it. Like, if you're not taking care of yourself, how are you supposed to run a business? Like, you need to be able to take care of it.
Yeah, if you're feeling rubbish, tired, sick all the time, no energy, like,
everything else can...
Brain fog.
Correct. Everything
lack of
else can
concentration,
grow.
the list goes on.
Yeah, exactly. So it's quite important. But I mean, look, 2024, can't even say it properly. 2023 rolls out every time I say 2024.
Yeah, it's a funny one.
It's going to be exciting. Real fun fact, it was 10 years ago this year that I finished high school, which is making me feel old as hell. Yeah, old as F. But no, I'm really looking forward to 2024. It's going to be, I think, if you were to sum up one word what 2023 was, or 2 words, or however you could, what would it be?
2023 for me was the year of, okay, I'm not going to sound too cringe, but like kind of awakening, like my brain was expanded.
Yeah.
And I felt like I was just overwhelmed by all the stuff that I wanted to be better at and learn, and learning things I didn't even know existed that I now want to be better at. And just the list goes on in terms of like wanting to improve, and even like down to health. And there's so many things on my list to do with making my health better I didn't even know about the year before. So I've just learned so much, and that doesn't stop. But this year now it's just like, let's keep like implementing all of that.
Awakening is a good word. I would probably say something similar. I would probably say I don't know what I would explain it. Let's have a quick second. I think I would explain it as the uprising. And why I say uprising is because I feel like once you start from your own business, you start to look at the world very differently, and you come outside of the norm. So you're not a normal, working 9 to 5 anymore. You have a different view. So 2024, what I think 2024 is going to be for us, for life, for the business, is, I'm going to sum up in one word: foundation. And what I mean by that is I think this year is going to set up the next 10 years.
Yeah.
And I think that doesn't mean that what we do this year is going to be what the next 10 years. We've learned so much stuff that we're going to expand on.
It's like create the launching pad to go crazy with everything.
So I think this year is going to set us up for supercharge everything. So we're learning development. We've obviously got the business scaling. We've got
getting a nice house.
Team.
It's like a really zen space to like work from.
So I think this year's
exciting,
super exciting. I think learning 4 or 5 days in there, I even feel the difference of what we were last year. This is crazy. So I can't wait.
Exciting.
What about you? What's yours? That's my foundation. You can't copy me.
You said you said it was ours.
I had to think of a hard word. I had to think of uprising, which I...
Well, I did think of...
Do you know what I was thinking? That I thought of a zombie coming out. I don't know why.
I was thinking of a protest.
Oh, right. Interesting.
Well, I did my last year word.
Yeah. Awakening.
This year, I would say...
Resurrection.
I would say foundation, though, because I've been saying that for ages, haven't I? Like, I'm so excited to have the house, and this year's about creating that level of like peace, and not that we're going to be busy and stressed, but a level of like
organized
calm
chaos
and like focus that's next level from last year. That's not one word, but you know what I mean.
Yeah. That was a 30-word explanation. That's fine.
Yeah. I'm not very good at one-word answers.
No, you're not. That's fine. That's why it's a challenge for you. You say it and then you have to explain it because your brain's running a million miles an hour.
I have to explain it,
yeah.
Anyway.
Cool.
Happy days. I'm so excited. And this is, obviously we've got goals for this podcast this year too.
Yeah.
Which is exciting.
We want to keep growing this, and I think it's going to
bring on some cool people.
This year is a year that we're going to really start leveling up this podcast. So what we wanted to do in the first part is just give the explanation, learn a little bit about us, kind of go through our information. And learn how to do it. Yeah, transparency. This is something very new to us, and we're just kind of winging it every time.
Like, guys, we sit opposite each other and we're like making faces. We're like working out if we're doing it right in the first episode.
But now we know what we're doing. We're going to get video, not straight away. We're just going to get all the ducks in a row. Get the video up and running so that way we have the video content, but then also get guests. We've got a few that we're working on, which are going to be super exciting. Not just random, people in property, like very well respected millionaires, business owners, fitness people. Won't even get like mortgage people, just people that you are going to be dealing with on a daily basis. Maybe not now, maybe in a week, maybe in a month, maybe in a year, but the knowledge that you're going to get from it is going to help you that 1% to get that deal over or have that nugget, which we always have. So
yeah,
I can't wait. 2024 HostRight. It's going to be super, super exciting.
And YouTube, obviously, we'll be posting.
The video on YouTube,
video. But also, I'm going to say this now for accountability. We are also going to post other YouTube content and
there you go,
like social media stuff.
Everyone that's listening right now, you can message us in what time frame?
In the next month.
In the next month. Okay, so there you go. So in the next month.
If you don't set crazy goals, you won't do them.
So in the next month, everyone that listens to this, if you don't see content on YouTube, you should be messaging Eve and I, and you should grill us and say, why is there no YouTube content? And that will be the motivation that will make us do it. If we haven't, but we should do it by then.
Yeah, we will. Exciting.
Love it. Cool, guys. Well, look, great episode, as always. And I'm looking forward to the next one.
Yeah. See you next time.